Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, January 31st. So first I want to say welcome and thank you to all the people that came from my YouTube channel and friend requested me on Facebook and started joining in on sending pictures and everything. I made a lot of new friends over the weekend. And as I said, I might not be able to join the truckers convoy, but I can send a few bucks and I can post the heck out of pictures on Facebook. That I can definitely do from the comfort of my home in my apartment. So if you feel like you're not doing enough, I want you to know this. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday, Nicole. I have mentioned her before, and she said, "So what have you been up to?" And I said, "Well, I assume you know that there is a trucker rally, freedom rally going on in Canada." And she's like, "Yeah, I saw your pictures on Facebook." She goes, "I actually shared those with my brother. He's a truck driver, and asked him if he knew what was going on, and he did not. So my efforts made it to a truck driver that didn't even know that was going on. So if you think that you don't have the ability to do something in this war, you're wrong. There was a commercial when I was probably in the 70s. I think it was herbal balsam, or I don't know, something commercial where it was one girl told one friend and then it multiplied and multiplied. She told a friend, she told a friend, she told a friend. And at the end of it, it was like 16 pictures of the same girl because it multiplied. That's what's going on in social media. They used social media against us for a very, very long time. And right now it is our opportunity to shove that shit back in their faces. So every time I post something, there is very strong intention going out with that. And usually it's that thought of all of the people that have ignored me over the last few years. I tried to warn, they rolled their eyes at me, they thought I was nuts. It's like me, I feel like I'm giving them the big middle finger every time I send a picture out, showing them what's actually going on, knowing full well that it has not made the media yet and that we are the media currently. So if you want to join me on Facebook, it's Jody, Jodi, Stone, and you can do a search for Jody Stone, Carmel, Indiana, and you will find me. And I hope you will go through my feed and start forwarding pictures and videos and different things, because I do feel like our time is limited on doing that. I know some people got blocked from sending pictures and doing anything. I have not yet, although I did notice yesterday and the day before, they started kind of limiting the pictures in the feeds. You could click on a link and see what it was, and either I was forwarding and sharing it wrong, or they were actually limiting, because a lot of people just scroll down and look at the pictures. So they had removed a lot of the pictures or the thumbnails, and they hadn't entirely removed it. I didn't get a complete block and ban, but they were limiting things for the stuff that I was posting. I tried to post a video that Jason Shurka did yesterday, and while you could click on it, I mean, it was like they were trying to make him as invisible as possible. So anyway, it's interesting. Do what you can. You have the ability to make a difference. So I need for you to remember that and know that, even if you feel like you don't. The other thing that I want to mention, Janine, Jean-Claude, and Julie, they've been doing some stuff regarding, they call it the siege in Ottawa. But this is one of the things that Janine and Julie have kind of come out with based on the astrology. Around February 3rd, they think that, we'll just call them the bad guys, probably because of what the astrology is saying and Janine's cards, they might try something. They are thinking that it might be bringing the death of the queen out, although I think most of us know that happened a long time ago. And this makes sense to me, and this is why. Now, I may not have all of my facts straight here, so feel free to correct me if you want. The three main countries, or it kind of started off in a domino effect. Canada was the main one that started their truckers rally, freedom rally, and then Australia seemed to pop up next, and then Europe started to pop up. If I have my facts correct, I believe all three of those are controlled or under the queen, the monarchy, the crown, whatever you want to call it. My history is not the best here, but think about this. If those are the three countries that are doing the biggest revolt at the moment, what better way than to put a complete stop to that is if the queen dies and that gets announced, that is going to, change the whole mood of everything. I can just literally see them going, let's please have a moment of silence or a day of silence for the queen or whatever, the queen's death. So if they are right, and I feel like that is highly likely that could be their ploy to pull down that energy, because this is a runaway train right at the moment. A fire has been lit under a lot of people, and they have got to do something to slow that energy down because it is taken off like nuts. So don't be surprised if that happens. If that doesn't happen, it'll be something else to try to circumvent this forward moving energy that is going on. So if I can encourage you again, our time may be limited to get the word out. So do what you can now to shove it in people's faces, because every time I send it off, it's like I feel like I'm giving it a big fuck you to some people that I know, some people that I'm related to, some people that I feel like, did me dirty in the past, whatever. Do what you have to get some passion behind sending those. Oh, and one last thing. I posted a little blurb about this on Friday's video, and I posted a little thing on Telegram. Some people saw it, probably just a handful, regarding Phil's video that he did on Thursday night. He was talking about that whole focus group that the Republicans did on Joe Biden's first initial announcement that he was running for the presidency, that the Republicans were the ones that did the focus group on that. I had a download on Friday night. I was in bed. I don't know if I was asleep, awake, or somewhere in between. I wasn't really thinking about that whole thing, I don't think, but the download came, and it was like, this is how I would explain it. It was almost like energetically, they opened the top of my head and dropped in a Chinese takeout box open of information. And in that information was that whole group of people that was watching that on Thursday was a focus group. We were being used as a focus group to see how that story goes, because they have said many times there are several ways to bring Trump back into the presidency. It could be done this way, it could be done this way, it could be done this way, it could be done this way. And I feel like that thing that happened on Thursday night was one of two things. They were either doing a focus group on us to see how that was going to, how would that be received by the public if that happened. It did not appear to me that was received very well whatsoever, because a lot of people seemed like they were pissed off. And it also would explain why he didn't bring up anything about the rally, because if they were seriously focused in on our emotions for that particular story, they wouldn't want to add anything else into the story. So that makes sense to me. The other thing is, if they did that, and it might have been that they were trying to light a fire under the people in the U.S., because it's kind of like, this is our plan. And I think a lot of people probably were like, fuck that, man. I'm like, and maybe they are trying to push the U.S. into taking things into their own hands. I do see some stuff on Facebook that there is a freedom rally that's getting ready to head to D.C., but it's not soon. It's not like tomorrow. I don't even think it's this week. I mean, there was a date. There's several dates that I have seen, and it seems like it's fairly off into the future. I don't know if they're waiting for the Canadian thing to play itself out or see what happens with that. I don't know. But so I guess, again, this could be a very volatile week based on astrology. So I'm like, hold on to your hats and just kind of know that we are all headed in the right direction, and do what you can do to bring out the word, because we need to use social media in our favor right now, since it has literally been used against us for a very long time, and it's time to use it against the other people at the moment. So I hope everybody has a great day. I shall talk to you later. Bye.